this is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see. And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
What's hard about that? I mean, first of all, the whole thing sounded absolutely fake.
I don't believe her at all. That wasn't convincing. I don't know what was hard about getting that sentence out. That seems remarkably rehearsed. It almost just seems like she forgot a line. Nothing in her eyes there makes you believe it. She's telling the truth. But beyond the eyes, just the actions, right? You can judge people by their actions, Erika. If she truly wanted more transparency, she could provide it because you don't need it in a courtroom. We actually do not need to turn to the courts to have the public understand what happened on that day.
For the past several months, Erika Kirk has been saying that, there needs to be a speedy trial for Tyler Robinson. This needs to be as quick as possible. The judges have been saying, we can't let the press in. We need to make sure that everyone has a gag order. There's like 5,000 gag orders. There's so much secrecy involved here. And you have I think even probably members of the families, right? They're probably under not just gag orders, but witness protection or something like that too. No one even knows where that the boyfriend / girlfriend is. That what is that person's name? Tyler Robinson's boyfriend, girlfriend, Lance Twiggs. No one knows where that person is. Just disappeared off the face of the earth. But now Erika Kirk has flipped the script. And I do mean quite literally the script, because she managed to get through reading it on her Fox News appearance last night. And it sounds just as convincing as you would imagine it to sound. Not convincing at all.
I wonder, when you talk about, the trial of Tyler Robinson, and you have been very forthright saying, listen, I think we need cameras in court. And the reason you say we need cameras in court is not because you want this to be, you want this to be on the record. You want everything to be on the record. You want transparency, and you want to make sure there is nobody trying to twist this in any kind of outlying organization, trying to twist this into something it's not. Is that a fair assessment of why you want this thing out there and transparent?
Absolutely. I want there to be no hesitation in understanding of what happened to my husband that day. I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative.
First of all, she's not relying on social media. She's literally trying to crucify everyone on social media that even mentions Charlie Kirk's name, or her name for that matter, or Andrew Colvit's name, outside of the pre-approved scripts from Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Teep USA officials, right? So no, she's not listening. She's condemning and crucifying and trying to bury, effectively, anyone on social media who is calling the official narrative into question.
Rather than saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see. And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
What's hard about that? I mean, first of all, the whole thing sounded absolutely fake, totally fake. I don't know what's so difficult about it. She said Erika Kirk is demanding U.S. courts find Tyler Robinson guilty with undeniable proof. She wants no other theories or narratives spreading on social media once the case is over. We'll be right back with the video, but I first want to share a brief message from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by Rezolve AI, NASDAQ ticker RZLV. Rezolve AI is working at the intersection of artificial intelligence, e-commerce, and digital payments. Their platform helps retailers use AI to improve how consumers search for products and complete purchases online. Rezolve exited 2025 with approximately $209 million in annual recurring revenue, and the company achieved achieved its first profitable month. The company is guiding toward approximately $350 million in revenue for 2026. Rezolve recently announced a $250 million oversubscribed financing backed by institutional investors. Rezolve has highlighted partnerships with other major technology companies, including Microsoft, Google, and many others. In terms of how the stock is being evaluated, several top firms like Maxim Group, Roth Capital, and H.C. Wainwright have price targets ranging between $7 and $15, with multiple targets above $12. If you want to learn more about Rezolve AI and review their investor materials for yourself, visit investor.rezolve.com. That's Rezolve AI, NASDAQ ticker RZLV. And as always, do your own research. This is not financial advice. And I want to say a special thank you to Rezolve AI for supporting the show today. But I mean, that's kind of the whole problem with the, with like the MLK trial, right? Even after the trial was over, everyone knew that the patsy, the guy that they set up to look like the assassin of Martin Luther King Jr., right? It ended up being totally fraudulent. Everyone saw right through it. Even MLK's family was visiting the guy in prison. They filed suit against the FBI, CIA, U.S. Army, and civil courts, and they won. MLK's family. And they wanted to do a retrial. They couldn't get it done. There was so much pressure, so much blackmail involved. But I mean, like, a trial is not going to hide the truth, right? A trial between who? Trial between a bunch of people that are running a kangaroo court. I mean, that you've seen the attorneys, you've seen how these people are handpicked, you've seen that they have connections to the TPUSA official staff. I don't believe any of this. I don't buy this. Erika Kirk's delivery here. I mean, it was about as.
I wonder when you talk.
It was about as. This is like listening to those AI chatbots. It's like listening to her talk, and she even admitted it was so hard for her to just simply come out and say the truth. That they shouldn't be hiding every single tiny detail from the cameras, from the press, through gag orders, through blackmail and pressure operations, right? That is apparently hard for her to do, to say that needs to come to an end, even though she doesn't mean it, right? Anyways, take a listen to what Candace has to say here.
I don't believe her at all. That wasn't convincing. I don't know what was hard about getting that sentence out. That seems remarkably rehearsed. It almost just seems like she forgot a line. Nothing in her eyes there makes you believe it. She's telling the truth, but beyond the eyes, just the actions, right? You can judge people by their actions. Erika, if she truly wanted more transparency, she could provide it, because you don't need it in a courtroom. We actually do not need to turn to the courts to have the public understand what happened on that day, because before.
Like, Erika's saying she wants more transparency, but why have you not provided any transparency regarding where you were on September 8th? Right? When that guy claimed he saw you at a hotel near Fort Huachuca on September 8th, and then you came out with this weird fake text message that wasn't supposed to be shared with the press, but then the guy on that Bulletproof Tactical podcast leaked it, and it said, I wasn't at Fort Huachuca. I wasn't at some random fort that they don't know about, but they actually do know about quite a lot about, because of Erika Kirk's parents, the France phase, and the business they're in with EMP technology being tested at Fort Huachuca. I wasn't at some random base in Tucson, Arizona on the 9th, the morning of the 9th. I wasn't there. No one asked you where you were on the 9th. No one accused you of being at the fort. They accuse you of being at a hotel, albeit near the fort, on the 8th. So why are you providing fake alibis? Why? Why did you wait an hour on the tarmac for Andrew Colvett to arrive, to hug him and fall into his arms when Charlie Kirk was, dead or dying at the hospital? Why did, the list goes on of the random questions we still have that are not answered. Why can you not answer Candace's most basic questions of where you were when you found out, you were called about the shooting? Because she initially said that she was with her mom at some sort of a biopsy or medical treatment, and now it's coming out through other sources that at least she was with one other person and may not have been with her mother at all. So where were you when you got the call? Quite literally, the call. I think no irony there, right? Where were you when you got the call?
before the courts even got involved, the first people that had access to exactly what happened in 4K, as Tyler Boyer said, was Turning Point USA. They seized the cameras. They could have said, here, I'm also going to have some private investigators take a look at everything and tell them what they think. I was one of the people that called and personally requested to view the tapes. I said, we don't have to release them. I just want to see the tapes. And they were immediately cagey. They've been cagey about information. They've been changing information for saying, oh, I didn't realize that we lied about this or we lied about that. So making this public plea to the courts, I don't know. I think that it stands in stark contrast to the actions that are available to Erika Kirk as the CEO and chairman of this massive organization. But exactly how massive? Anyway, I wanted to write this open letter to Erika because I know that Turning Point USA watches every.
So we reacted to some of that the other day. I want to react a little bit also to this clip from Baron Coleman on the Jimmy Dore show. Also discussing the same clip, but this is his thoughts on it. Same exact thoughts I have. I mean, like, why? She's talking about transparency. She's been the least transparent person on the face of the fucking planet regarding everything. Regarding her life, regarding her parents' EMP technology biz, regarding how she met Charlie, regarding her dating history, regarding literally everything.
I think it's ludicrous. Again, where was Erika Kirk on September 8th, 9th, and 10th? Why don't we know that? Her husband died in a horrific, shocking fashion. The wife is always a suspect until you rule the wife out, period. I don't care if they get mugged at an ATM. You know, the wife has to be ruled out before you can say, oh, it was only the guy who mugged at the ATM. It's nonsensical and beyond belief that anything Erika Kirk says at this point should be taken on face value. Period. End of story. And if she truly wants us to get to the bottom of this, if she wants there to be full transparency, turn over all the records, turn over all the text messages, turn over all the video footage. Candace,
why does Erika Kirk still have Charlie's phone? That's one thing I will never understand. If Charlie was texting at least two people that we know of, Colvett and I believe Flood or someone else, two people before the day before he was killed, saying, I think they're going to kill me tomorrow. Why does Erika Kirk have his phone? If he was texting at any point, let alone the day before he was actually killed, but if he was texting anyone at any point in the weeks, months leading up to his assassination, that I feel like I'm going to be killed, even if he didn't say why, but we know from the texts that have actually been leaked that in some cases he did say why. Very clear why. Lots of pressure, lots of blackmail he felt was being thrust against him. Why does Erika Kirk still have his phone?
this is right. You don't have to go through the court system. We don't have to let a judge determine what's admissible and what's not admissible. Turn it all over. There were cameras all over that place that day. Turn it all over. Turn over the audio. Turn over the audio from Charlie's microphone. The Rode Go wireless microphone that was under his shirt. Turn that audio over. That was recorded in 32-bit wave. It should have still been recording at the time he was taken into the SUV. Let's hear what was going on behind the table if that microphone still exists, if that microphone was still recording. Why was Dan Flood stepping forward and touching his arm? I've not heard a good explanation for that.
Okay, I haven't either. It's like nobody even talks about that. I haven't heard anybody from TPUSA address the obvious. He was giving obvious hand signals, and they appear to be. What do they appear to be to you?
Steal third base. I mean, come on. It's an obvious signal, and it happens to correspond within hundreds of milliseconds. I mean, like 300 or 400 milliseconds, 3 or 4 tenths of a second of the Big Bang we all heard. So what was it? What was he doing? Because he looked to his right, he looked to his left, and then he was clearing something, and then he stepped forward, gave the signal, bang.
So anyways, I don't think we're going to ever be given the truth about what actually happened. I think through the work of Coleman, Baron Coleman, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, others, I think that we will get it. I think we will find it. I don't think we're going to be given it. This can't be another JFK. This can't be another RFK. This can't be another MLK. This can't be another, thing where everyone wonders and kind of knows, and everyone knows eventually, 50 years down the line what went down, but we only find out about it. Our grandkids will find out about it through some unclassified, declassification program of the Charlie Kirk files. It can't be like that. Can't be like that. Can't be like that. when this organization is raising over $250 million in just a couple months based on the sympathy for Erika Kirk and for those who work at TPUSA in this organization and what they've been through, okay? Cannot be like that with the political power they hold. Cannot be like that. We need to find out what happened yesterday. And thank God there are people still trying to get to the bottom of it. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.